Hi and welcome. Before we get I advise you to get a biro and a pen or your pad or just something you can jot with, because I am a firm believer of writing and learning. So do well to have all of that with you, and once you're ready, let's go. We open Power BI, we are met with the interactive front. Our first stage is at the Power Query, where we import our different files into Power BI. The Power Query has its different bars. We can import our files, some cleanup and manipulation before loading all our data into our dataset. As you can see, there are different kinds of files that you can import into Power BI. From Excel workbook to CSV files to SQL database to so much more. The options are really endless. The data that was gotten for our dashboard was in a CSV format, which honestly was quite compact. Majority of the data in it did not necessarily relate to products in any way. We have reviews, we have different users that actually use the product, and those are not actual metrics that are very related to products. They are, but not really product friendly. And that's not going to be much of a help when we are doing cross relationship in Power BI. So we need to split each of these individual records and then create different tables for each of them. Luckily, we can do all of that here in Excel. We could also do it in SQL, but for the purpose of simplicity, I will be using Excel to explain how you can break your data and turn it into a relational database. This relational database is what is responsible for our cross relationship in Power BI. Using the trim function, which enables us to remove white spaces or spaces in general from our word, we can use that to extract different columns from the full compact data set into different sheets on Excel. Right here, you can see me taking out the review ID and putting it in a different sheet. Now, this entire process is very simple and easy to do. Once the data has been transferred to the other sheet, all I just need to do is drag my cursor down, and then boom, I now have access to all of the review ID due to this simple Excel function called trim. This is done for the review ID, the user ID, and also a third table will be produced to link all of these tables together to create a one-to-many relationship, which will create a smooth cross-functional relationship used in Power BI. Each process will be repeated for both user and the review table. The last table is the bridge table, or you could give it any name, or a link table. It is a table where I used to link all three data together. So each ID of the tables are within this particular table, which then creates a one-to-many relationship that will make our work seamless and easy when we reach Power BI. So this is me adding each of the individual IDs to that particular table. Still using the same trim function. So you see, to those of you who don't have any Excel background, don't worry, I will still be dropping tutorial videos on Excel and their functions in the weeks to come, so stay tuned and stay glued to my channel. Alright, so once each of the different IDs are created, using the index function, a unique ID, or I called it the bridge ID, is now created, linking each of the individual IDs together in a unique many table, different foreign keys. And with that, our relational database is created. What's left to do is to save each file, which is already done here, as save this sheet, sorry, as a CSV file. This is the product, there is the review, there's the bridge, and then there is the user. And then all these files we just created will now be imported into Power BI. I can't wait to do that with you. So I saved each of these CSV file in a particular folder in my laptop. Now here we are going to import these files into Power BI. I have explained this before, how to import files in Power BI 101. Let's go and watch it again so you see how you can import your files for yourself in Power BI. In the Power Query, there are different tabs. In it is the close and apply button, the new source, enter data, manage parameters. This enables you to manage different parameters you want to add within your Power Query. Refresh view, as the name indicates, enables you to refresh your visuals or your Power Query or the different queries or cleaning you have done. My personal favorite is the remove rows and the keep rows that I use to remove duplicate and so many others. So after that, the next step towards your journey in creating your live dashboard is making sure that each column represents the right data type. Okay, so a data type simply is the type or the format at which each row or each written word is in. Currently, discount price is a currency, and currently things have adapted to the point where we don't just have decimals and whole numbers as our only numeric values. We now have currency. Yes, currency, where our numeric value can be signaled as currency. From the data, we can see a strange symbol at the front of some of the discounted price. This symbol was inherited from the data, and it's a sign of a different form of currency. But I would love to keep my currency as dollars all true. What am I going to do? I'm going to use the replace values at the transform tab. Transform tab enables you transform your data values without creating any new column. It is faster than the add column, and it doesn't increase the size of the file, but add column adds a column to your file, thereby increasing the size and making it a bit slower. Each one is used depending on what you want, but best practice is to always stick to using the transform tab. So using the transform tab, I was able to eliminate all the different symbols and then finally change my data type to a currency. And then I'm doing exactly the same thing right now to the actual price, sorry. Now, if you would notice, I did not really talk much about the other two columns. This is because the other two columns are in text. So a simple text data type is enough for it, which was what was shown in the very first part when I started explaining the Power Query. So this is how you will first of all check the individual data types when you enter within your Power Query. You will make sure that each data type corresponds to the current value that is within that column. After that, you will make sure that there are no duplicates. You can easily remove duplicates by going to keep rows. When you scroll down or click the scroll icon down, you will see remove duplicates, and that will remove duplicates from any column you highlight. As simple as that. So there are other functions which are very crucial whenever you want to do the Power Query, but they will not be covered extensively in this video. Just understand that the Power Query is an important tool which you use to clean, manipulate, and pre-process your file before loading it into Power BI. It is also advisable when handling a data set that has so much rows that the rows are more than 2 million or so, that the rows are just quite plenty. It is advisable to run an external query in SQL, extract the needed tables you want to use for your visualization, clean it and perform any further cleaning within SQL before bringing it into Power BI through the Power Query before you start designing your dashboard. This is essential to reduce lag or insufficient speed or space storage or some other issues that's just going to be a lot for you to handle. So if you're treating a data set that has so much rows, it is preferable to handle the rows in SQL, and then after you're done importing that into Power BI or Excel, regardless of whatever you want to use. This entire process is going to be repeated for both the review table, the bridge table, and also the user table. So each one will be important. Always make sure that your title is simple and easy to understand. The reason because if your title is vague and too long, things could get confusing, especially when you're handling multiple data sets or the data sets that has lots of rows or that it's just has a lot of columns, and then you could get confused and mix up the names. So use simple names, like for instance you can see user, product, straight to the point and relatively very easy to remember. Also, cleaning actions and manipulation is going to happen for each of the different files, and then you, as you can see, removal of duplicates for each of the different IDs, because an ID that has a duplicate is removed, it removes the rest ones from the column, which saves you a whole less stress. So you can also import this, me importing my rest other files, and you just get the gist from here. Once that is done, we'll simply click load and apply, and then our data set is loaded into our Power BI visuals. That is done, we'll immediately come to the model view to connect our different relationship in a very beautiful way. It's advisable to turn off automatic relationship before you get started in Power BI. While I was creating this, I did not really have the chance to do that, since I was just trying as much as possible to be fast with the time. So what I just did was to delete the link ups and then create my own. So from my arrangement, you can see the data is somewhat arranged in a star-like manner. This is the uniqueness of the one-to-many relationship, where many tables connect to just one table, or rather one table connecting to many tables. This is called a star schema or a star relationship. In a situation where there is just one table connecting to one table, or many tables connecting to many tables, we will have a snowflake schema. That snowflake schema is a result of a one-to-one relationship or a one-to-many relationship. From what you saw just now, you can see a one-to-many relationship inscription on the path. You can see that right now, self. A one-to-many inscription to showing that this is a one-to-many relationship, and this is a star format for creating model relationship. At the right hand side, or rather at the right hand side, we see the properties pane, which gives us a clear view of the different ways we can edit different properties. This was explained also in Power BI 101, and you really need to check Power BI 101 so you can follow along smoothly and get a very thick understanding of what we are doing. So after the model view has been created, we move straight up into creating our dashboard. Now, the data we're given was specifically for products, and by products I mean products in Amazon. So you have to think about it before you start going into dashboard. You have to arrange your dashboard colors accordingly to the brand you are going to do this thing for, right? Next, we move straight into creating our DAX, our data analytics expression. We need to put all of this in within a table so that it will be not jam-packed with our individual table. We'll click enter data to create our own table. If we do that, that pane that we just saw will show up, and then we'll label it, and afterwards, voila, we have our measure table. We can see that at the right hand side, measure table. Now if we right click, we can easily create a new measure, and then we can easily now start performing some DAX analysis. It is advisable to store your Dax formulas in a measures table or in a table of its own. So to create this table, it's very simple. Just click the enter data and that table like feature will come up. Just type in the name and voila, you've created your first table. Now this table is in columns, or rather in a calculated column style of DAX. From our previous videos from Power BI 101, there are two types of DAX. There is calculated column and there are measures. What we need for the rest of this dashboard are measures, because measures are aggregated functions which are calculated in row context, and they don't add any much data to the size of your file or data or additional columns. So the first measure we're going to be creating is the total users of different products from Amazon. Can simply be gotten by using the count function in DAX and then putting our user ID within a bracket, and this counts each of the user ID to know the total number of users in that entire column. Pretty neat, right? With this, we don't need to scroll down and then use our aggregated sum function like we use in Excel to calculate this. Using this DAX measure, this entire calculation is done behind the scenes, and then all we just need to do is to put this function or put this created measure within our chart and graph, and voila, we can now use it in our visuals and in our creations. The next DAX measure created is going to be the total products within the entire data. Now we will need to know the total product that is in the data. Now this measure is created very simple by using the count function and to count the individual product ID in the products table. And with that, you've created your second DAX measure. Now we can also see that the measures table icon has changed to a measure icon because we now have only measures within that table. So I'm going to create another new measure, and this measure is going to help me. Now if you recall, you will also know that there is a review table. So knowing the total reviews from the data will also be very helpful as a matrix in our dashboard. Now this is very important because we need certain KPIs that we will show for visualization aspects in our dashboard. KPIs means key performance index, things that are very important for business people to see about their data. So that's why we did total reviews, total users, and total products. You're getting the gist now, right? So after that, within our table, we also have a ratings column. These ratings columns are arranged from 1 to 5 of each particular product which are within the table. We can get the average rating of the total product within our table by using the average function to create this measure. So the average function is going to be written out there, as you can see, and then simply put, we just click and then drop our product rating from the product table into our formula, and that's how our next DAX measure is created, the average ratings. Now if you want to try this out, I will be dropping exactly the files I've already cleaned and everything for you to try it out yourself, and just follow me step by step and create this dashboard exactly and fine-tune it your own way, regardless of how you want to do it. After the average rating is created, we will move next into creating our next measure. Next measure we're going to be creating is the average discount percentage. From our table, we have a column called percentage discount. This percentage discount is the total percentage of discount given to each product. Now finding the average is going to give us a flexibility to create different matrix within this same dashboard. Don't worry, just follow me. You will see all of this and it's going to pan out very beautifully. Now to create this average discount percentage or the average percentage discount, however you want to write it, is just simply using the average function and then selecting the table with the average the percentage discount within it, and then boom, that measure is created just like that. So after that, the very next thing you need to now ask yourself is how many of these users that use this product actually gave real-time reviews that were active and they contributed to knowing that the product was good. So we need to create a measure that gives us active users. To get this active user, we're going to use a very amazing function called calculate. Now the calculate function, think of it as a shovel or a rope trying to drag something from a well or from a deep, depth. So calculate function helps us access individual tables and perform filter functions within those tables. You can see we are looking for active users, meaning we are trying to link the normal users from other users who are inactive, and this can only be done by the level of reviews that are given. So afterward, we use this thing count to get the total number of users, and then we filtered the individual users again. So we went to the users table, filtered the users that actually gave reviews to the particular product. So as you can see, the users will be filtered, and then we can initiate another calculate table for the reviews to drag out users that actually reviewed products, and that's it right there. So also, while creating your measures, you can see there is a top pane that you can use to edit the currency, put a comma within your numbers if they are more than thousands, and also change their data types from decimals, whole numbers, and so other different things based on what you want. So our average discount, we are just going to change it to a percentage instead of using a comma to make it more related to the name, average percentage discount. That is going to be done by just simply clicking the percentage sign right over there, and that's how it's done. After that, the very next measure we're going to be creating is the average actual price, like the total amount, the average price for each product in the data set we're given. We already know the formula we're going to use here is obviously going to be average, and then we're going to filter through to get the actual price. Now, if this is your first time using Power BI, it's a very friendly interface. All these things you're seeing here, it will show you exactly. You will not necessarily need to change anything or try and edit anything. It's just going to show you exactly as it's doing for me right now. So you don't need to worry about how am I going to do it and how am I going to do that, right? Since this has to do with price, we're also going to change its currency, seeing as I want my currency to be in dollars. So I'm going to change the currency to dollars, because by default your currency is going to be set to a particular value, so you need to be careful while doing anything that's to do with currency. All right, with that, I think we are set to at least start our dashboard. We're going to move straight into importing the Amazon logo, and this is my favorite part. You can get different logo designs or different designs from freepik.com. I'm going to put the link at the description so you can easily click it, or Pinterest. All of this is publicly available even on Google. But if you want to join my private class, I'll teach you how to get very foggy videos from Google and then make it clear. Don't worry, I got you. After that's created, the next thing we need to do is to visualize our KPIs, our key performance index, and how this can be created. It can be done using the card visuals. So using the multi-card visuals, we can add different matrix that we have already calculated. Now you can see the benefit of using a measure instead of a calculated column. All we just need to do is to put in those measures into these cards and into our graphs, and boom, 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 we already have matrix. Now this KPI matrix is what's going to be our key visual in our dashboard as we're creating it. We will not want something that doesn't attract the attention of our executives when they want to view this dashboard. We need something that will give us a matrix that is straight to the point, direct, and I'm going to show you how you can format this and turn it into something very useful and something very clean for your own edit. Now we're going to be going with these few matrix, but there are some things we need to correct, because as you can see, the average discounts was in dollars before, but then we had to change to percentage. Looks like I forgot to change to percentage. Now we can edit any visuals we want in this pane called the format pane. The format pane, you can see there's a blue like brush. Whenever you click that pane, this will open up for whatever particular visuals you're on. If it's a card, you will see it. If it's a graph, you will see it as well. So it's a very important tool to get used to. With this tool, we can edit the roundness, the shape, the different other tools do well to go crazy with this. But for me, the reason why I picked a multi-cards because I can fit as many cards as I want automatically. Instead of creating each one individually, I create just one card and fit all my prospectus in there, and boom, I'm ready to go. So with this week, you can be able to create your own visuals in a simple and simplistic way that will not really stress you. So the very first thing I did was to simply just change the font of this to a font that I like. I love using Seagull UI and I like using it at 12. So when I did that, you can see me increasing the size of the file to get the particular size that I love and I want. And if you look at this now, this looks so much better, right? Now, when you want to change your own value, you can find that it's going to be called the call out value. That's whatever edit you want to take place that's going to change the particular card here is called the call out value. So you can easily just edit it. And mind you, if I have any questions, I will also drop my email so that you can send me an email to my email address for any conversation. I will also drop my different handles where you can reach out to me for any confusion at all when you're taking this dashboard on. Well, now that we've edited our call out values, next we're just going to do a little bit of editing. I'm going to try and see how we can edit our labels and make them a lot more outstanding. Just before we do that, we're going to first of all, if you notice, 1k is a very weird number, so we're going to remove any automated remove any automated summation to make it in thousands. So to do that, you just go down to your color values, and in the color values you pick for the individual value or individual KPI you want to change. So you can say I did that for the individual stuff that I want to change. But while I'm doing this, you can notice that these things are going to be very similar: the total review and the total users. Now, from this, we will be able to tell that the total amount of users, each users actually gave a single review in this. So we have an equalness between the total users and the total review. You can see the power of measures right there and there. I'm going to remove it, but for now, let me create our next KPI, which is this. Now, this particular KPI can be created using the KPI cards. You need to first of all have a target value, and then what exactly you will want to track. Now, the particular the value I want to track is the users, the total active users versus percentage active users, and I'm using a goal target of 80%. Now, to do this, simply put, you're just going to create your own DAX, and it's just going to be very simple. Just put the DAX target of active users and simply put, just equate it to a 0 point something and then change the format to a percentage. Now that will just help you. So when you open this particular card, all you just need to do is to put that target and then you put your active users, and if you have date, but this particular file did not give us date, so we don't have a trend axis. So all we just need to work with is these two values. So this is me trying to format it in a way that's a bit more visual appealing to the eye, so that it will get more attention from our executives. So I'm just going to leave it like that first before I do my magic on it, and there are some few things I'll still arrange in this dashboard currently, but for now there's a particular measure I want to create, which is the average length of a particular review, to know the total amount of explanation a particular product has, like a particular user is going to give to a product. Imagine somebody typing more than a 1,000 word essay for a product that they use due to maybe gratefulness or maybe this. That will give us more reasons why we should have that product in stock. So the average length of review is going to be very nice, so that we can know the average, what's the least amount of reviews, the length of the reviews that we got. So if we have like a review length of like more than 1,000 words or maybe 300 words, that's going to be very good. It means that our product is making people voice out, right? Some are just making people cringed in. So that's if I was the company, right? So this is how you think. This is how data analysts think. So you start thinking analytically and use that in getting your dashboards to look beautiful. So calculate the average of each. That means we're going to look for the average in each row. To do this, we cannot just use the average, because the average is just going to take the sum and then average everything together and just give us just the individual value. I do not take into account each value. So to use something that's going to find the product or the sum of and some average of each, to sum them and then find the average of everything, we're going to use average x. So average x is what gives us that flexibility to sum each row and then find the total average of that row, because if we want to use normal average, it's not going to work. We did right there. We use average x, the review, and then the length. The length function helps us get the total number of characters within a particular write-up. With that, we're able to create our average review length. For this, I'm just going to use a simple card visuals. I don't really want to put a goal for review, because I just want to know how many reviews, like an average review, so I can show them that, oh, this is the average reviews that we're getting. So using a simple card visual is just going to be nice. All I just need to do is to put in the value I'm looking for, which is my average review length, as you can see right there. And then once I do that, boom, you can see our visual starts taking shape. So next, we're just going to simply just edit the callout values. The callout value is the main value and also the reference label. We might need to turn off the reference label because I would prefer a label of it above rather than below. So I will do that later, but for now, let me just work on the callout value and let's just see how it looks like this first. If it's given, then I will leave it as it is, but if it's not, I will change it up. So after that, I want to explain to you guys a very simple formula, because if you notice, I just started designing. First things first, before you start designing or creating anything, you need to have like a sketch of what you need or what you want to do. So you need to first of all know the matrix you must plot against and do proper research before you start. Now, because of time, I can't really explain all of that here. So if you want further explanation, do well to reach out to me via the email in the description below. And also some of it is for private classes. So if you want to go further in like leveling up your dashboard, or you want to learn a skill for yourself, you can reach out to me. So right here and here, I am figuring out how to position my dashboards and follow up with the draft or the product view I've created already. How it's going to, the dashboard view that I created already, rather not product view, how it's going to look, how it's going to be like. So I'm trying out different ways and different formats how it to be. So you can do this for yourself. See, there is no standard stiff way of doing dashboard. There's no one time you do it and then you can use that one time forever. No, you have to exercise a large level of creativity. You need to stay in the positive atmosphere, and you need to just keep looking at it that it's something you can do, right? So with that, because at first it's going to look so hazy, so scanty, and it's not really going to make any sense. But then when you start putting everything together, it will start making a lot of sense. Like, look at me here right now. I'm just trying to figure out, how is this thing going to be? Should I put it like this? Should I put it like that? I'm literally showing this. I would have cut all of this out, but no. I'm literally showing you how it looks when you're creating a dashboard. It's not a very smooth process. It's you thinking about, you exercising a lot of creativity. Where the colors go. I'm doing Amazon. Why is there green there? Will it fit? Will this do what? So you need to exercise a lot of sweet arrangement. Here I'm building a matrix that's going to show me the ratings against the price. So when price increased or when prices were high, how was the ratings? And when the price of a particular product were low, how was the rating? So that's what this graph is going to show me, and you can see this is me putting my individual data within it. So you can see right here, this is me just trying to make everything work. I have changed the green to a white. So that's just what I did. All you just need to do is to just go down to your color value and also to your goals within the KPI visual, because for this visual I use the KPI card, not a new card visual. So I just changed it from green to white, and I changed everything to white, and that's what I used, and that was that. Simple as that. I did not do any magic there. So yeah, this is our graph and it looks really good. So we're just going to do some more, I am just going to do some more conditional formatting and make sure that it looks good. You can see at the left hand side my format pin is already open. So all I'm just going to do is to change the color, pick a color that will fit. Amazon will go with a kind of a dark gray kind of color, so I'm going to add that as well. Sorry, if I say dark gray, a dark blue color, so I'm going to just use that to make it work. Next, we're going to edit the tooltip. So tooltips can be found at the properties. You just see tooltips. All you just need to do is to click the color, and then you just need to change the color to one that works. For me, I'm using my background to be dark dark blue. Why am I always saying gray? And then white. As you can see, that's how it looks. So that tooltip is that extended view that makes your visual looks take away. So in my other dashboard I created for Power BI 101, I did a custom tooltip for the KPIs, but I'm not going to do that here because of time, and I don't want you guys to sleep during this tutorial. So I just want you to follow me and try and just create this if you're a beginner and if you're someone that never created dashboard before. For a professional that is watching this right now, I want you to just look at this as your own way of practicing something for yourself. And if you want more experience, why not? You can reach out to me. If we want a collaboration, you can reach out to me, and then we can do something together, right? So this is how our dashboard currently looks. It's kind of looking somewhat good, but we are nowhere near done yet. So let's keep working on it. Next, following the dashboard draft I've created, I'm going to add a very nice single product underneath that's going to show the product that probably has the highest rating, so that when Amazon is saying this product is having the highest rating, they would indicate to buy more of that product, because come on, that product is getting 5-star ratings, and then they can push that product more, or it's pushed more on the Amazon platform than other products on the Amazon platform. So here I am just formatting it. You will do a lot of formatting when you're creating dashboards, that's the truth, and you need to also have a little bit of patience and not just rush and just say you're done. I know it's going to be stressful, but you need to put in the work, right? So you're going to design, you're going to put write-ups like this. I'm changing to my favorite font, which is Sigo UI, and then after putting that out there, I'm moving straight to my filters, and I'm going to use a top-end filter to filter these particular visuals to give me exactly what I want, which is the visual that has the highest rating. So we can see the highest rated product is the Amazon Basic Wireless Mouse 2.4 GZ and all of that. After that, I'm going to give it a unique pop-up view that when anybody, you look at it right now from a distance, it doesn't look bold, it doesn't look attractive. Somebody sees it, they will not really know what is written there. So we need to edit that and make that much more poppy so that it will be easily seen. Sorry, I'm using words like poppy. So it pops out, and then you can easily just see the visual. So if we have a dark background and if we make our text white, I'm very sure we can see our visuals clearly on a very large screen, right? With this now, it looks much more better and much more aesthetic. You understand? Now this looks really good, so we're just going to do some pushing and positioning. I like positioning my things, so I love things being very orderly, straight. One in the middle, if something is too in the middle or too in the right, I don't like it. So like this now, those two things you see on top there, I'm going to edit them because it's not me that's going to have something that is not so beautiful. So okay, moving next, we can't just have a write-up underneath without a title. That will not make really any sense. So whenever anybody sees this, like executive sees this now, they'll be like, we don't know what that is, Amazon, so what is that supposed to be? You understand? So we're going to call it the highest rated product, or the most rated product as the case may be, or the top rated product as the case may be. You understand? So then the very next thing I would do is to remove the background we can get this using the text box. The text box is either at the home tab, or you can get it also in the insert tab. Very easy. So after this, I will just go to my format pane for this text box, and then I will remove the background. As simple as that. Then I will add that same dashboard, that same text box inside, extend it so that it will be at the same shape as the card. And then I am also just gonna edit the look so that it will fit exactly, the color context will fit with what we have right there, and boom, now we have a visual that has the highest rated product written on it. And then anybody that sees this will know that, oh, this is the highest rated product within this Amazon dashboard. Simple visuals, beautiful, straight to the point, and you don't need to stress yourself so much. right? After that, I did a little bit more OCD like arrangement to make it, much more central, much more, scrumptious and looking good, right? Whatever you're doing, do it well. Do it well. Make sure, even if it's the littlest of angles, let it look acute and good. You understand, right? So, as you can see above in the KPIs, total users has been removed. Why? Because it looked so clustered with 5 different KPIs on top of that small screen. So 4 is a lot better. So we had to let go of total users, and that's sad. But we'll do what we can, and we keep who we can. So moving on, we're going to just work with the donor chart, and we're going to use the donor chart to work with categories. Now, in the product data set, there is something called discounted price, and there's also product category. So we could use that to create a very nice matrix, don't you think? The particular category that has the most discount per percentage, that would be really cool, and that's what we're going to do right now. So this is me adding my the matrix, that my measures which I've created, and going down to the product table to collect that particular data. You understand? Let's do some analysis with that data as well to enjoy ourselves and create a very beautiful visual. So after including the different data into this donut chart, we get this very nice looking feature, and you can see the biggest one has a total view of 80%, and that's very, very, very cool. So with that, we can just do some editing and change the colors to something that fits the Amazon logo that you see right there, right? So with some further arrangement, we're just going to take it up, and we're going to use that to make this look so beautiful. As you can see, there are some red lines that can help you adjust and make you get the right proportions, like if you're like me that likes right proportions. And voila, this is how our dashboard looks now. So all I just did, if you are like worried, how did we get here? All I just did was I added coloration, and then I added a bar chart that gave me the top 10 high performance products, which is just so very easy to do. You just put the product, and then you use your top end filter, and you make everything just looks good, right? So this is looking very nice, but I would still like to do a little bit more editing to make it look just overall beautiful. You understand, right? Now let's add those little final details to make this really pop. Boom! Now this is what we have as our dashboard. Doesn't look really cool? It really fits with our logo, and that just changed some little things. I changed the background color, changed our KPIs color. I made them rounded a bit, and it was just really cool. All of this can be done in the format pane. Really simple, really easy, really straight to the point. And now that's our visuals. This is our dashboard. Looks very cinematic, very easy to the eye, very capturing, and very easy for any business consultant to really follow up with you and know what you're doing. Now we're going to create a button, and we're very first of all going to use the bookmark to create our button. Now to create a bookmark, very simple. A bookmark captures the particular way of the page, like how the page looks like, initially, right? So the bookmark I created just now is going to be for a reset button, which I will do when I want to start explaining how you can create buttons in Power BI. But for now, I want to just add a menu button to make it look so spicy. You understand me, right? So that you can see there's something missing, something supposed to be up there. You understand? So after that, you can see previously when we opened our image, I had some extra icons there, which are menu icons, which I will pick anyone that I really like. So all I need to do is to pick one of those images and then put it there, and then boom, our menu is created. So if you really enjoyed watching this video, I would really love it if you subscribe to my channel, click the bell button. So all that's needed next is to just put the picture of the menu image, which I already have in my gallery, and boom, 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 we're ready and set to go. And then we have our dashboard ready. Now, if you enjoyed this dashboard and you love the entire learning process, do well to subscribe, click the bell and turn on the notification. I will be creating videos like this regularly. I'm even owing you guys a button video because I want to do a filter pane where when you click this menu button, a filter pane will come on by the left, which we have like a drop down menu where you can click one, and another filter pane will come on by the right. So I got you. There are so many interesting things we're gonna do together, and I can't tell you how excited that makes me. But see you later. Bye.